Bom dia mundo. It's been a lovely start to the morning. Eden is resting on the sofa, as she usually does. She actually slept there pretty much all night. Story's just in her bed, playing nicely with her toys, keeping herself distracted. Mummy's outside hanging out the laundry. It's a very homely start. It's quite a pleasant temperature out today. And it is actually Story's checkup day, her 15-month checkup. So we're going to be taking her to see the nurse and the doctor today. There's some kind of jab involved too, so we'll get that done. It's actually getting a bit late, so I better hurry up. Okay, time for the appointment, Story. We've still got half hour to spare, so we're early enough. Let's get you in the car. Into the health centre. Leaving the Motagua Centro de Saúde. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, let's get you home, eh? It's time for your nap. So we thought Story was due a jab today, but apparently not, and Sacha had a jab instead.
I did.
For tetanus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Story is all healthy and good. She's grown, she's put on half a kilo in weight. So you're all on track, eh? Yeah. Right, let's go home. Our Dr. Leandro was there for the first time in ages. We haven't seen him for a while because he's been off. And we told him for the first time that Story and us, we are vegetarians, and he gave us some guidelines that he's emailed for what the Portuguese say you should be eating and drinking as a child on a vegetarian diet. So it's interesting to know that they are catering for stuff like this, considering Portugal is a very meat-based country. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what the guidelines are in Portugal for raising a child on a vegetarian diet. Let's head home, it's hot in this car. We've just stopped to pick up some water from the spring. 2 big bottles, that should last us a while. We used to be at this spring so often drinking the water from here, but then we bought these bottles that have got filters in them, and then we didn't need to get it so much, so we're barely over here now, isn't it? We've just arrived home and Story has gone to sleep, so I'm going to have to leave her in the car, I think. Don't want to wake her up, it's cruel. Goes Eden. Story's sleeping, you leave her alone. Leave her alone, she's sleeping. Hey, Eden, she's sleeping, come on. No. Oh my goodness, Eden! What a crazy thing she is. Sometimes I wonder if she's actually a real dog. She doesn't really like doing any dog things. She wants to get straight back in the house, straight back in the car. This is today's bowl of health, my lunch. Looking good. Got some tabula, I'm not sure how you say that. We just bought that from Lidl. Some white beans and some rocket. Lovely. Laundry is still drying in the sun. It's lovely and warm out here. This is what it looks like. This is our view for the day. And we have a temperature of 22 degrees again. We got an email from one of our viewers the other day who was suggesting that we put the month at the beginning of every video we make to help viewers who are in America or Canada or somewhere else to gauge what the temperature is at what time. And I thought, yeah, it might be quite a good idea. Something to think about. Just that little bit more information, isn't it, Sash?
What's that?
The putting the month or saying what month it is, like per video. So if you just tuned in for the first time, you're like, oh, that's what it's like in February. Yeah. It's February, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It's still February.
Somebody else suggested that we should say what the Fahrenheit is as well, but we use the metric system here, so you can look that up yourself. I guess with months, you won't know what it is unless we say, but with temperatures, you can just Google it. Although England's a bit funny, isn't it, Sash? Because in the UK, we use miles, but we also use the metric system. Yeah. We're blended, aren't we? It's weird. Talking about doing miles, we were having more and more chats about the whole van life situation, and we've been getting quite a lot of emails and support from different people giving us their advice and their resources on how to do research for this type of lifestyle. And the other day we were watching a video about caravans, and now we're thinking that a caravan would actually be more suitable for us and our lifestyle than an actual motorhome, simply because you get more space. It is something that we would need to look into in a lot more depth because it's a whole new world of things that you would need to kind of take into account. Believe it or not, for about £16,000, which is less than a deposit on a house in most countries, you can get an amazing 20-foot long house basically that you could live in. Whether we would actually be able to live in that space or not, I still don't know, but it's definitely piqued my interest.
Although Jay and I do have rather conflicting views on the whole caravan buying situation. I was looking up vintage retro campers and the little touring campers that you hook up to your car. They are much smaller obviously, but they look so much better and they're cooler. Jay's not convinced.
This is a perfect example of how our relationship works. Sasha is the dreamer and I'm the realist. There is no way we would be able to live in a vintage 1970s tiny little box.
Yeah, but you wouldn't live in it anyway. You wouldn't live permanently in a motorhome.
Oh, it depends on your situation. It depends on your goal.
Space, isn't it?
Yeah, but it gives you some freedom to travel. And I think that especially with a dog and a baby, we're not going to be able to do any of that in a little thing. Having one of these little vintage caravans would be an addition to our life. Like if we were to buy a house and have that on the land and go for a little camping trip. But having a big caravan, we could actually go longer term in it. I think it's like having a rowing boat or having a big sailboat. Obviously you can do more in the big sailboat, but it's not as cool as having a little cute thing on the lake, is it?
I think the one I was looking at was 12.2 feet.
Yeah, so half the size, and it didn't have any of the resources inside it.
It didn't have a shower, but it did have a cooking area, and it was 5 berths, so you could fit 5 people in it because it was wider.
What would be interesting for us to do is to go to one of those caravan shows and actually walk into them and sit in one of them, so we actually feel the pain of having such a small space and see if we could live like that.
But then it depends on what you mean by living. Like,
yeah, it would be less
how
than a
long?
year. It would be less than a year, definitely. It would be a means for us to travel, like we said before, so that we could find our place and buy a home. Problem being, obviously, right now we can't afford to buy a house, but we may be able to afford to buy something like a caravan. But we'll see. It's lots to think about, as we've said many times now. And what do you think about all of this, Eden?
Eden's with me. She wants a retro camper.
Yeah, she's a retro dog. Wow. And a little baby. Come on, little one. Come and see Daddy. Hey! You're out. Guess what we're doing? We're looking at caravans.
We're being real true geeks.
Yeah, I have to admit.
Not the good kind.
No. The caravan world does look much geekier than the van life world. When you look at the websites and stuff, don't you? You have to do some research, but we found some cool stuff,
Yeah.
haven't we? Well, we think it's cool. Maybe we can make it cool. Can you do it, Story? Can you make it cool? Maybe. Oh, wee. Want to get some caravans with Daddy? What's this? This is the unicorn. Boring. And this is the Bailey Pursuit. Ooh. Hey Story, you finished your lunch? And what did the nurse say to you today? She said you should try drawing with a piece of paper and pen, yeah? So I'll put this out for you. It says story time. Do you want to try doing some drawings on it? Oh, she's already trying to draw on her phone. Yeah, and on the table. Oh, well, I guess it's your table. Right, let's see Story's first drawing, eh? And we're just going to draw on the wood instead, yeah? That's it. Make drawings. You're murdering the paper. Place it down. Not a bad start. Ah.
Whenever we come back from the doctor and the nurse visits, I always like to do my own research as well on what they've said. In the second year of life, the growth slows down a lot and the child may only put on up to 2 kilos in the second year, which is like 5 pounds. So obviously the first year of life they're growing dramatically, and Story was 8.5 kilos at her 1 year checkup, so to only grow another 2 kilos in a whole year it's a very big difference. She has put on 500 grams since her year check, and now Story doesn't have to go back to see the doctor until her 18-month check now, so not until springtime.
Tasty biscuit. Story's added a biscuit and some leaves to her artwork of the day.
Yeah, we also had a stick and a rock as well, so I think she's a mixed media artist. A bit of organic material,
yeah, a bit of
mixed
3D.
with ink.
Give it some depth. Yeah, Deden's there. Hello.
Say hi, Eden.
Oh, you want her to run? I'm an old dog. I don't run.
Come on, Eden, entertain your sister.
No,
Whee!
I don't do that on demand. Look at my miserable face.
Yeah.
You good dog. What are the neighbours up to, Story? Is that a big orange tractor? Yeah? What's he doing out there? Making the farm all new, so they can grow more things. Is that interesting? Turning around for another run? Yeah. Sacha's going to distract Story with a little bit of reading while I get a thumbnail made for the latest vlog. While I'm here, let me show you one of the caravans that Sacha was looking at. Here we go. These tiny little vintage 1970s Astral caravans. Meanwhile, I was suggesting something a little bit more like this. I think for about 25 grand you can get this big old boy. A little bit more space and something like that. All the advertising is geared up towards much older couples than we are, and without kids as well, so I don't know. I don't know. There's definitely appeal there, but I just don't know. On the plus side, in these videos they do show lots of doggy life with them, so Eden will be fine.
Yummy.
It's dinner time for somebody. And we're sharing the same dinner tonight, aren't we?
Yep.
We've all got
chickpea curry.
yum 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 yum.
With quinoa.
Yum yum yums. And what's this dog gonna have? What am I gonna have for dinner? Biscuits and meat. Quick look outside. Look at that blue sky. Lots of sheep action going on over there. Someone's fire burning already. Local life going on here. More tractors. All just normal day-to-day life here going on in central Portugal. We are going to continue discussing whether we should buy a caravan or not and see if that fits into the next stage of our life. I'm also going to end the video for today. If you don't know, we are vlogging 6 days a week. So if you want to see the weekend vlogs, you can become a patron by clicking the link up here. We also put up sneak peek videos and pictures on there, and little bits and pieces from the rest of the day when we turn off the camera. So if you're interested in any of that, click that link or in the description below, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Good girl.